Wanted to have a key just in case you had done a few of these mixed numbers. So the first couple of problems were a little crazier on your answers. I didn't show the work here. I was just giving you the answers. I'd be more than happy to go over these with you. If you have questions, you can email me. But I wanted to put this up here in case you wanted to see how you did on this particular worksheet. If you wanted some additional practice and you only did 3, you could do 3 more. But I wanted this on here in case you did these, you wanted to see how you did. I also want to go over the back of the worksheet in case you have questions on the back with the story problems. And remembering story problems, you're always going to have a total and you need to divide it by part or piece and then figure out how many parts or pieces are going to be in the total. So I'd asked you to solve, I think, 4 on this, but if you did more, it's not going to hurt you. It's actually going to help you out. So in this particular example, this person had 8 chapters of a book and they're reading 2/3 of a chapter each day. That word each is telling us this was our part. So then 8 must be the total. So the division problem would be 8 is your total and you're dividing it by 2/3. You would get 12 days as your answer. If you did this one here, they're cooking 3/4 pounds of pasta, and they're going to serve the pasta in 3 evenly sized bowls. So the 3/4 is the total amount of pasta they have, and they're going to be dividing it into 3 even sized bowls. So the problem would be 3/4 divided by 3, and that's how you get the answer. 1/4 pound is how much would be in each one of those bowls. The third problem, they're saying this person walks 2 4/5 miles to and from the train each day. How long is the walk to the train? So the 2 4/5 is the total amount to go there and back. They're trying to figure out how long is the walk like just to go there or like just to come back. So it's like if I made it really simple and said I walked 2 miles to get to the train and then I had to get 2 miles to come back, then my total would be 4 because you'd have 2 plus 2. Well, this total is 2 4/5. We need to divide it by 2 to figure out how far is it just to get there, and then it would be that far to come back. So you'd have your total 2 4/5 divided by 2, and you're going to get 1 2/5 miles. That's how long it is just to get to the train. This example, they have 10 gallons of gas in the car, and they're going to use 1 5/8 gallons each hour. That clue each telling us this is the part they're using each hour. This is the total amount of gas they have, 10. So if you take your total 10 and divide by your part, 1 5/8, it looks like 10 divided by 1 5/8. This is where you get 6 2/13 hours. Another example here, this person ran this many kilometers in 1/3 of an hour. Trying to figure out the speed, which is distance over time. So this is the distance they ran in kilometers. This is the amount of time it took them. So it's like distance divided by time. In other words, total divided by part. Your total is 3 2/3 divided by 1/3. That's where they're getting the 11 kilometers per hour would be her speed because speed is per 1 hour. You could also set this up as a ratio like we did on the ratio test for speed. This one here, she has 8 green apples, 2 red apples. They're going to slice them into 8ths. And they're asking how many people, or how many apple slices will each person have. So you've got 8. They're asking how many green apples. So you have 8 green, that's your total. You don't need to worry about the 2 red. 8 green's your total, dividing it into 1/8. And when they call it 8ths, they're calling it 1/8. So 8 divided by 1/8. It would actually be timesing it by 8 if you flip it and multiply by its reciprocal. That's how you get 64 green slices. This one here, she's got 5 6-yards of ribbon. That's the total amount of ribbon she has. She's going to cut it into 1 6-yard pieces. So this is your piece. So you've got your total, divide by your piece. They're asking how many of those pieces would she have in that 5 6. So your division problem is 5 6 divided by 1 6. And you're going to multiply by this reciprocal. So you'll end up flipping this. Multiply over 6, and they'll end up canceling, and you'll have 5. The area of the desk is 1 4/5 square meters. The length of the desk is 2 meters. What's the width? Well, if you're kind of thinking about it like the area is your total, if you divide it by the length, then you would be left with the width because length times width would equal area. But if they give you the area, which is your total, divide by 1 part, you're going to get the other part. So 1 4/5 is your total, divide by 2. Over 1, which is ending up multiplying by its reciprocal, and you get 9/10. So those are the story problems there. It would be really good to do these if you're struggling on story problems to continue and watch this video to help.